Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Fraud is usually an inside job, says Moko, head of cyber investigations and risk management at the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency. Special Agent Patrick Clinton says financial crimes usually involve help from inside the target firm. Speaking with reporters, he explained financial crimes in particular required an intimate understanding of internal systems and accompanying mechanism. Linton also explains some offenders may be employing skills they acquire in passing. He says fraud is pervasive and involves high level of collaboration. Meanwhile, the special agent says Mocha has noted an increase in local fraud cases. Furthermore, Special Agent Patrick Clinton explains cybercrimes has also increased since 2023.
All right, so there's always the notion of insider threats, where and it's not unique to the financial institution. Generally, the cases that we have looked at from Mocha's perspective, from law enforcement perspective, we see where there are persons usually inside that are the facilitators. They are the persons who have the know-how, the questions to ask. Some of them might also have been separated from their job and become disgruntled employees. They have the ins and outs and the know-hows of some of the techniques and tactics they use. So you see these things. But also you see some new ones where persons will just try, techniques that they have seen in other jurisdictions. Because to be honest, a lot of the things that you see here are not necessarily born here. Over the last few years, we have seen a coordinated attack. We have seen collaborative, organized type attacks on financial institutions. Now, gone are the days where we used to have what they call a salami slice attack, where one employee used to skim a $1, a $100 from a person's account, which might be dormant. So while that kind of fraud is still there, we are seeing more coordinated kind of attacks. Some of the cases that we have investigated, we have seen persons from all areas of society coming together as an organized criminal gang. So Mocha has seen a large amount of cyber criminal activities, not necessarily fraud alone, but also the true cyber criminal activities like hacking, kind of malware activities. But also among those, we have seen the cyber-enabled crimes, some of which are related to financial institutions. But we have seen a massive increase last year. And even as this year starts, we have also seen, and I mean, based on the landscape, there is no border by virtue of a timeline like a year and a month, because it has continued.
Family seeks help for a comatose 21-year-old horrific bike crash. Last October, Camille Gibbs buried her first son, who died from an illness, and she is now clinging to a thread of hope, praying not to lose her last and only surviving son, Joshua Hansen, a road crash victim now in a coma. Hansen is currently being treated at the University Hospital of the West Indies after being involved in a road crash along the roadway in Junction St. Elizabeth on January 8, 2 days before his 21st birthday. Closed-circuit television footage of the accident shows a black sport utility vehicle making a right turn across Hansen's lane as the motorcycle he was driving slammed into the side of the vehicle. He was taken to the Mandeville Regional Hospital by the driver of the vehicle. Hansen, who was not wearing a helmet, sustained extensive spinal cord damage, multiple facial fractures, merger of the brain, and bilateral broken femur and respiratory failure. The medical team has done surgery on his broken leg and has inserted a tube to help him breathe. He still needs spinal surgery, brain surgery, and facial surgery. In addition to addressing the trauma, Hansen will need nutritional intervention, a feeding tube, along with diabetic management, given that he is also diabetic. In the long term, Hansen, who is without health insurance, will need speech therapy to help him recover his communication and eating ability while building his cognitive skills. He will also need physical and occupational therapy for mobility. His teary-eyed aunt, Michelle Morgan Jones, said that her husband was in the line of traffic behind the vehicle Hansen collided with and was shocked when he realized it was his nephew. Speaking with reporters on Sunday, she pleaded for persons to assist the family by giving blood, making donations to a GoFundMe campaign established for him, and most of all, to pray that God grants him a full recovery. I have 2 biological sons, but Joshua is like my son. Our family is so close-knit, and just to see him there, it tears my heart to pieces. His mother is devastated. I am devastated, Morgan Jones said. Just going to the hospital to see Joshua in that condition, it tears my heart to pieces. He is just 21 years old. I am seeking everyone's help. Joshua needs help financially a lot. He is going to need a lot of surgeries. It's going to cost a lot. We are craving your spiritual support because we know there is power in prayer and we know that God is still in the miracle business, she said. Morgan Jones recalls some of her most memorable moments with the nephew she cherishes. Each time he comes to the house, I would encourage him because Joshua's dream and aspiration is to become an entrepreneur. He wants to have his own business because his father is a mechanic and he is also a good mechanic. So he had hopes and dreams of owning his mechanic shop, she said. A graduate of Manchester High School, Hansen is scheduled to begin pursuing a course in mechanical engineering at the Hart NSTA Thrust Vocational Training Center in Junction in May. He is such a well-mannered child, and even when at times I would reprimand him, he would never have an attitude, she said. Hansen had planned to host a birthday party for himself at his mother's bar and restaurant in Junction St. Elizabeth on January 10, and although that did not materialize, residents of St. Elizabeth hosted a fundraiser in honor of him on his birthday over the weekend at the same location to assist the family with his medical expenses. Morgan Jones told reporters that it was well supported, adding that the family was very grateful. How you can help. The GoFundMe campaign address for Joshua Hansen is GoFundMe/97BD1918. The family also seeking donations of blood and prayers for Joshua. Clarendon residents fume over Salt River roadworks. Residents in Longville Park, Clarendon, are fuming over unfinished works along a section of the roadway in Salt River. They have accused the National Works Agency (NWA) of poor work, which they claim has put the lives of motorists at risk. The NWA indicated on Friday that a section of the road would be closed on Sunday to facilitate the replacement of a damaged HDPE pipe culvert. The agency had indicated that the culvert collapsed in December 2022, reducing the corridor to single-lane traffic. The upset residents say the unfinished work posed a hazard. They also complain about signage to alert motorists. The residents claim that the situation contributed to at least 2 crashes. One such motorist is Longville Park resident Mark Belto, who said that he had an accident on Sunday night. There is no light on the road and it is extremely dark. That work was shabbily done. There should have been signs and reflectors all over. At least 500 meters away, we should have had the first sign and probably another 2 signs in another 250 meters away indicating to road users that the road is blocked, single-lane traffic or something, said Bello, who is upset about the damage to his vehicle. NWA Communications Manager Stephen Shaw told reporters on Monday that effort is being made to complete the works by today. The work remained unfinished up to Sunday as the team had some technical challenges. The road was, however, reopened to single-lane traffic and the unfinished area cornered off. The repairs will be completed. The road will, however, not be repaved before another week or so in order to allow further compaction to that place. Please remember to subscribe, like, share,